So guys, we are back with another week of the glorious Dark Gathering on this very lovely Sunday afternoon, okay? So from you guys' comments, I know that English was not from your comments, I believe, if I remember correctly, we're in a new arc now, like a mini arc within a larger arc, right? And it's about the red dress type of arc, right? So if we go back to chapter 38 now, we had once again, they finish off with Adam and everything, and they went to a shrine. And when they went to the shrine originally is basically you go there, and if you have any ailments, neck ailments, my English, you're cured of those pains in your neck. Mind you, I was feeling some pain in my neck yesterday, man. It's feeling a little bit better today. Like I used a massage, like an electric massage for like the neck. Oh, I hope y'all did not hear that. I tend to do that occasionally. And for lower back, so my neck, it's actually very fitting going into this, right? And mind you, while they left that shrine, and also there was some, horror facts or opinions, theories, that if you go there, you get cursed also at the same time too, right? But other than that, they left. They put one of the, I think it was one of the graduates or one of the ghost plushies that they had on hand, and yes, it was actually Face Ripper, Aiko. I like to call that one Aiko, right? The face stealer, right? They put him there, right? And then they left. And when they left, first and foremost, Yayoi realized when they passed by one of those houses, some creepy looking woman was in the window, right? And then when Keitaro decided to fall asleep, because it's been a long day after what happened at Adam and everything, this man is shook. Okay, he's shook. He needs a break. Okay. They were planning they're driving to the inn that they were going to stay at. So they just only went to the onsen to like really relax and unwind because of the whole ordeal that happened. And Keitaro decided while they're driving to their inn to take a quick snooze. And then all you see is this creepy image of this woman, mouth bloody, like, oh my god, I can't show the image again. I can't, because I don't know how YouTube is going to act, but it's actually very, very, very scary. Okay. Even though I'm not the biggest horror fanatic, okay, biggest horror fan, okay, I do enjoy Dark Gathering, and there are a lot of moments, or a few moments for me in particular, where it's very creepy and scary. That panel now, I can't look at it in the dark. You could not catch me looking at that particular panel in the dark. So there was that, and then that panel changed into Eiko now, and she's in the red dress, and then it shocked Keitaro, right? He's like, why the hell am I having this dream or something? It's very, very weird. So while they're driving still to the inn, Yuyoi's asking him, and he's actually telling her about like what he just dreamt of, and she's thinking, is it an illusion of a female ghost? And he's wondering if it's from like some spiritual injury. Now this is where Yayoi notices something, and I didn't notice until the panel actually said it, and for some time too. Remember Keitaro got like a cut around his neck with Castle H many chapters ago, many episodes ago, when they went to Castle H, and then he thought he saw the illusion of Yayoi being hanged and everything, and he got cut on the neck and all of that stuff, and his wound was there for quite a while. Now is in this chapter we see where his wound is actually healed. It's finally healed. Why is it the neck area? Because it goes further into detail what's going to happen in his neck from there in this chapter, and my boy just cannot get that affinity of attracting ghosts. Bro, I would have to find a priest. We're going to Jujutsu Kaisen. That's at that point, we're going to Jujutsu Kaisen. Get this exercise real quick, bro. At this point, You know, grandma, you're doing your best, but like, I need this off. Okay? So she realizes that the wound on his neck that he got from Castle H is completely gone. But in place of that, there's an aura, a shimmering aura on his neck wound that was originally there. So they're thinking possibly it may be the blessing that's, protecting him, which would make sense because that shrine is all about neck ailments. So it can be from aching of the neck or even a neck wound. So probably that shimmering aura that's on his neck is probably the blessing. You're not gonna think much of it. But after that, or probably that same blessing is the same one that like basically healed up and made the fading wound completely disappear. But it wouldn't be dark gathering if something creepy does not happen afterwards, right? So after that, they're like, you know what, okay, we're gonna keep an eye on you just to make sure it really is the blessing, to make sure nothing crazy happens and everything. So they managed to reach their inn, which they tell in this chapter that in the afternoon, probably when they just arrived to Kyoto, they did book and saying that we're here and everything to check in. So they go in. It's a very retro looking inn, very comfy and everything. And then they all decided to go sleep in Keitaro's room. And my boy's wondering, why are you guys in my room just lounging out and chilling? Of course, Yayoi was like, we have to stay in here to make sure that you're okay. Okay, because remember, we just passed by that shrine. Obviously, the things that happened at Adam is still taking somewhat of an effect on you. You just had a creepy dream while you were just a quick dozing off in the car, saying that you saw a ghost, an illusionary ghost in your dreams, and it faded to Aiko. Like, we're just going to make sure everything is okay with you, okay? Psychologically, emotionally, and everything, right? You gotta love this little group, this little trio. So while they're in the room and they're all talking, they're talking about which next spot should we go to investigate. Because the next day we have to do it. Once we, get our rest and everything, the next day we're going to head off to another haunted place. So they're asking Keitaro, hey, choose a spot. So he's looking at the map and everything. And while he chooses a spot and all that, and they're making the schedule, he's like, let's go here. They're like, that's one of the weakest spots. That's like F tunnel, T tunnel, whatever, but not a strong ghost to go to. But while they're also talking and everything, Keitaro starts to mumble, red dress, and they're asking, what do you say something? Do you say red dress or something like that? Then it flashes to the creepy looking woman and all that. So he's trying to shake his head and just like, nah. Don't mind what I'm saying. It's just me mumbling, making words and all that stuff. So after that, he mumbles again, and he's like, "Put you in it." Creepy type stuff. Like, Keitaro, what is wrong with you? That's how you know something attached itself to Keitaro, but we don't know exactly what. And it could be from the shrine, or it could be actually from the house that they were passing by, because Yayoi herself saw the woman in the second floor of that housing, that destroyed house. So they keep asking, what's wrong? Again, my son cannot catch a break. The same wound that was healed, they show a panel zooming in on his throat. The wound is opening up very faintly, that I'm surprised Yayoi did not catch it. Right? It's starting to open up. It looks weird, right? So then he eventually does knock out because he's exhausted, and everybody decides to say, you know what? Let's rest up for the night. We'll continue talking and then go head to our destination for the next day. So everybody's sleeping. Then Keitaro is dreaming again of that creepy woman. Then it fades into Eiko in the red dress again. He wakes up. Somehow there was a pen nearby. I don't know. This is reminding me of some Higurashi type stuff. What's his name? Then he grabs a pen. Keitaro grabs a pen, jams it into his futon sheet. It looks like he's possessed. Then he gets up. He starts walking. Then he sees Eiko sleeping. There's another panel that I'm not going to put on YouTube because I don't know the restrictions of these things, so I'm not going to put it on there. He hovers above her, has the pen in his hand, and then he continuously is jamming it in her throat. Her blood is splattered all over the place. He effectively offed his girlfriend. Mind you, they just started dating like probably like 10 chapters ago or a few episodes ago. Like, okay? Come to find out, and you would have thought, my boy is crying. And he's like, the red dress really suits you. And I'm like, oh, so he's now possessed. Just great. Which one of them was possessed? I don't think any of them was possessed, but they have ghosts that pretended to look like one of them to lure them in, right? Well, actually, no, Keitaro was kind of being possessed. Well, he still had consciousness in Adam. He was trying to choke out and take out Yayoi, and then that's when Eiko gave him the TKO knockout. And then he was looking at his face in the mirror, and then he had this creepy grin, and then he's crying out loud. Come to find out, it's all a dream. Okay, so this dream is just escalating while in the point of view of Keitaro, him going to try and murder Eiko for reasons we don't know. Why does this creepy woman keep making herself look like Eiko? And then Keitaro is being put in this position where he's trying to go after her. So he's horrified by this whole ordeal. And then he keeps saying, I knew a red dress suits you. Okay, this is where you start seeing in the panel where the same neck wound now is starting to crawl up his neck, just like the parasite, just like that creepy ghost woman from just 2 chapters ago when she put the parasite. But mind you, they exorcise her, but there's something else that attaches. So that blessing is now a curse on Keitaro. Again, my boy does not catch a break. Okay, now he's repeatedly saying in his head, put her in a red dress, put her in a red dress. And then he's battling against that other speaking voice in his head. Is like, no, I don't want to do that. It just repeats. Put her in a red dress, put her in a red dress, and now he's actually above. Like, this is now consciously awake Keitaro, now above Eiko, who is sleeping, and he's shaking, and he has the pen in his hand, and he's about to night his girlfriend. Okay, he hears her voice, Keikun, and he keeps repeating it, and through the repeating of those words from the ghost saying to put her in a red dress, he's getting fragments and memories of him and Eiko all the time from childhood up to now. And so he's trying to break himself out of that illusion. This ends up with Yayoi waking up, and he's telling her, help me, tie me up, or else I'm going to do something very horrible. This is now where Yayoi is able to see what attached itself to Keitaro, because before, when they were in the car, she was not able to see it. But now, since it's trying to take full effect, trying to control him, she sees that instead of something white, now it looks like black on the outside to the spiritual or physical eye. Okay, so she ties him up with black rope, ties his hand behind his back with black rope. Okay, she then we have where Eiko and Yayoi are wondering, he probably got the curse at the shrine, which obviously makes the most sense. And of course, Yayoi saw that woman that was deserted by that house. So what they plan to do is to travel back to that very house. So what Eiko does is looking up any incident reports from the police about what happened in that household, what caused it to be cursed and everything. She brought her laptop and everything, and she's doing massive research. Listen, women, when they say they want to find something, when we turn into the investor, we turn into the CIA, they should start hiring us, but for like the greater good. So she starts looking up all the information that is needed for that house, anything that's public domain information, and even hidden domain information. So it comes to find out, the information she was able to find out was that sometime in the 2000s, June of 2000, whatever, there was a mother and daughter in Cave City, right? And it comes to find out that the husband took out both his wife and his daughter for reasons we don't know. Then it says that there was in October of 2005, there was another homicide or another murder at a bed and breakfast. So a lot of stuff happened in K City, okay, and a lot of them were like murders, a lot of homicides, right? If it's not K City, then it's at like N District, but everything is in K City, and it comes to find out it was by a man, and every incident that was happening where a woman was getting attacked and unalived, all the incidents happens where it was in the neck area. Okay, the guy was unaliving plenty of women, whether it was at the home, it was at a bed and breakfast, or it was a janitor, a university student. All the incidents of cases of death was by the neck area. So with that being said, they said around in 2013 there was no 3 incidents where men were decapitating, men were unaliving women with the same type of incidents, right? So it's all happening, either if it's not in the K City, then it's in the N District where the college is. Why they're attacking the women, we don't know, but it's close to the shrine. So in between that shrine and that broken down house, that's where they're able to find the information. So now we have it where Yoyoy and Aiko are planning to say, okay, we're going to go there. Not only that, when they found out by the information in the documents, online documents, each man that was arrested and thrown in jail, right, the assailants, they kept muttering, saying that, like, I wanted them to wear red. So obviously these men may have been possessed, right? And that's when they start attacking women. So this probably makes me believe that whatever the ghost itself is, it's attaching itself to Keitaro, right? So that means it must have been an assaultant from a long time ago, and he did something to a woman. And then any man that passes by, either by the shrine or by the household, he attaches himself onto them, and then he gives them the illusion of one of the women that was his targets, and then fades that woman into someone that man knows. So many a times, anyone he is close to that is female. So for Keitaro, it will be Eiko, and then he will commit the act. So once these men are now put into prison, they ended up crippled. You know, they're crippled in prison, and they just kept muttering the words, I want to see them wear red, I want them in red. Same thing that Keitaro is starting to mumble. And then eventually, they died because of a stroke. Because they can't get free to do this. This is just playing over him. So they've been possessed by whatever this ghost is. And whatever this ghost could not move on to the other side because it still felt like it had to continue doing whatever it wants to do. Now, poor Keitaro is a victim, and they're going to have to find some way to exercise that, right? So, because of that, the whatever is attached to the throat area, because everything is from the throat area, right? They found like an autopsy that was told in the articles that something would have, like, I guess in a way you can say, like a tumor grown in their brain, and it caused a clogged blood flow to the brain, and it caused their death. And many people from documentations from doctors and everything will find out like the assaultant's death was deemed unnatural. And the reason why it's unnatural, because by science, you can't, pinpoint the cause of death by something that was supernatural, right? They don't correlate. So from there on, they decided to, well, all of them, I thought it was Keitaro, but all of them decide to head to the house where they passed by. And they said, Keitaro, you stay in the back, of course, because his hands are behind his back in case he gets possessed again. And decide, hey, let's go target these 2 girls. So they go into the house. When they go into the house, they break in and they go into the house, and they go upstairs and they see the woman. And attached to the woman is a small baby. Not only that, you see where the woman was attacked by in her neck, right? Then you see the baby calling for mom. And this reminds me of that female ghost who was also a god from that shrine, as well as when they went to that house to store all the graduates, and when that ghost, one of the creepiest parts of Dark Gathering that made me remember, I think it was episode anywhere between 15 to 19. I forgot exactly, but that ghost did impregnate Echo and all that stuff. It was so creepy, right? So we have another case where it has a baby, but come to find out that this ghost in particular, both the mother and the child are not aggressive. They just staying there, right? So the baby did extinguish some type of smoke and everything, and she's not really the cause of the curse. Come to find out that this woman who was unalived, she was pregnant at the time when she was taken out, right? And that's just the baby's ghost as well, crying out for its mother, right? It only just wants its mother. So she does trap them both into the paper, the ghost papers thing. She traps them just in case, right? So hopefully this will lead them to the ghosts have been tied to this house, and the house obviously deteriorated once the assaultant was put into prison, and unfortunately mother who was pregnant with an unborn child passed away in this household, but they've been stuck there for a very long time. So she does capture them, put them into the paper dolls and everything, and she's going to use it to find basically where the source of the power of the curse is actually coming from, right? So once they start to walk back and get back to the car, and they look inside the car, mind you, Keitaro's in the car, right? Why does this man have something covering his face? I don't even know how to properly describe it. It looks like the tentacles from Adam, but then it's splitting up and showing like two faces. One that looks horrifying, the other looks maniacal from the neck up. And that's how the chapter ends. It starts to laugh and it says, "Red dress, put you in one." And the fact that this ghost is so strong that Eiko, who usually can't see ghosts because she's not as spiritually gifted as Keitaro and Yayoi is, but the fact that she can see it tells you how strong this ghost is and how much it attached itself to Keitaro, right? So now they're wondering, how can we exorcise this particular ghost? And come to remember that this is the same ghost because of how much it was possessing its host to commit these horrible actions towards women, that this is the same ghost that will basically give a tumor to the host, and then they die because they're not getting any blood flow to the brain. And then if they get autopsy, it'll be like an unnatural state until it can go find another innocent victim to possess, and then continue to commit these atrocious acts towards women. And that's what happened. So that wound that was healed on Keitaro's neck was basically an opening for this curse to attach itself. Okay. So his neck wound was healed, but at what cost? So now this tells me that they're going to I don't even think it's safe enough for Eiko and Yayoi to get into the car to drive back to the shrine to find to pinpoint exactly where this ghost came to be, because at the same time, while yes, it is the place for blessing, at the same time it is the curse because of the neck area. So it's either they try to pinpoint all the locations and find out what exactly happened and how this whole entire curse came to be, or they have to travel back to the shrine, find where that curse came from, and eliminate it at its source. But these two are not safe, okay, for the time being. And I don't know how they're going to get into the car. In all honesty, they might have to walk. They may have to drag this man with them. take him out the car, let a graduate deal with him? I don't know. I don't know, because now the curse is going to, since the curse has been activated and it's now covering Keituro's head, it's going to slowly take him out. It's going to slowly unalive Keituro until they can find some way to deal with it. Okay, and it continues. I want to put it in the red dress. I want to see you in the red dress. Yeah, they're gonna have to find the perpetrator who started all of this. And why can't your soul rest? All right, so guys, do tell me in the comment section below how you felt about chapter 39 of Dark Gathering. Yeah, this was creepy, particularly, and it makes me wonder if that creepy woman, or if that's the man actually, or that's the first victim, and she just keeps showing herself, and then he's so assaulted that when, like, it's literally reminding me low-key of Higurashi in that sense, in that particular way, you know. But I could be wrong by trying to correlate them like that, but it's just giving me that feeling. But again, do tell me your thoughts on this. I believe this is a mini arc within the whole overarching arc of the Kyoto arc. But yeah, this is just probably one of very few creepy mini arcs within this whole overall arc, and they still have to go to all these other places to deal with other ghosts. When will this ever end? Okay, the links are in the description box. You guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy-chan, and I will see you guys later. Bye.